Hello, hello. I am so excited that you are all here today. Welcome to 3 ClickUp hacks to improve your course or client management system. My name is Melody and I am a customer success and course consultant, and I help group coaching program founders, coaches, consultants just like you create beautiful client experiences through training and development and customer success strategies. So today I'm really excited because we're going to be kicking this off by talking about some of the great features within ClickUp that will help you optimize your coaching program, your membership, maybe a certification, or your training and development for a small business. And this is all through one of my favorite tools, which I am absolutely obsessed about right now. That is through ClickUp. So holler at me in the comments. Do you like my new headphones? I just got them and I feel a little bit weird with these on. First time. But we're going to go ahead and dive in. And if you're watching the replay, I would love for you to share with me things that you love about ClickUp or questions that you might have so that I can make some more great content for you all. So we're going to go ahead and hop on over to ClickUp, and we're going to start the process by talking about forms. And I can't wait to talk about how this can be used in your client management or course business. Okie dokie. So right now I am showing you my very own ClickUp, and inside of ClickUp, again, if you're brand new to ClickUp, go ahead and just let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I'm going to check as I go along if you have any questions about it, but do go check out my YouTube channel. There's some great feedback there. So one of the most common questions that happens when I consult with my clients is that they're trying to create a better onboarding plan for their customers. And so typically what that normally looks like is there's some sort of CRM or intake form for simple information to be updated from the client. Now, what happens then is if your intake form and also your task management or project management tools are separate, the beauty of this new process that I'm going to share with you actually will help to make that seamless integration. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this quick tool called the form view. Now again, brand new to ClickUp, real quick, I'm going to show you this process. We have our spaces here. Within spaces, we have folders, and then within the folder area, we have our lists. And so the lists basically have multiple different views. You have a standard list, which looks very much like Asana, Trello, for any project management tool that you're using. This is the list view. You have a lot of different views that are also very familiar if you're familiar with project management. You have the board view, the calendar view, which I really, really love. And then you can add some additional views. Now, the form view, this is what it looks like from the point that it is already created. And we're going to walk through creating the form, but I wanted to show you what it looked like and how you can use it in your coaching consulting business, or maybe in your team business that you are in. Maybe you're in corporate and you're just looking for ways to manage tasks a little bit more efficiently. So this is a form. I'm going to actually show you a bit closer here so you can see my screen better. And basically with this process, we want to create a way that will allow the customer to submit simple information, okay? So we've got the form here, and let's say that they've paid their deposit. We want to go ahead and get some simple information. So when we go into the editing field, this is really easy. So we can actually drag in some standard things, which is available here on this left-hand side of the screen, or we can actually create some custom fields. Maybe you want to get an attachment for a document. Let's say that we want to have them attach a file. That's something that's really easy for them to submit. So let's say that it would be branding assets, okay? So let's go ahead and just create the branding assets. And we're going to go ahead and drag that right over. So we have our branding assets, and that is going to be a way for us to have them submit and fill in an asset that we need from them. Super, super easy. Now, I want to tell you just a moment like how you can use this if you are someone who has a training program, or maybe you're a coach or you're a small business and you want to know how this would operate in terms of making your life a little bit easier. So I'm going to switch over here so you can see my face while I'm talking to you. And the reason why I had this system basically was so that you would have the ability to take in the tasks that are going to be repetitive and streamlining them so that it's going to be easier from an operational standpoint. And as a team grows and continues to repeat these same processes, it's going to be a lot more automated. So I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like if you were to use this form for a customer. And again, this is a great workflow that I wanted to share with you. So if we actually take a look, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new tab here. So we have this form. Let's say that you have a 30-day checkpoint and there's a mentorship program, there's a training that needs to be completed, or maybe you have, again, a group cohort. Let's say that on intake, when somebody actually purchases, they're going to go through an onboarding process, and 30 days from that point, you want to check in to see that something has been completed or that they're ready to move to the next milestone. So we're going to go into this process here. Imagine that there's a 30-day checkpoint and there is a form that you share with a client, an internal team member, and they have to fill this information out. Now, what's great about this is, again, I'm going to show you, is that if I were to fill in my name, and I'm going to just say, testing step, and then I'm just going to fill in some random information. I'm going to just add in some random information that I have. And then here we go. We're going to take that information from the form, and then we're going to bring it into our system. So let's take a look at what happened here. So we filled out this form. That's what the customer saw. And then from an internal standpoint, here's what you will see. Okay, see? What happened there was it refreshed. And if you take a closer look here, you're going to see that my name is visible. And you can see that my name is now a task. Y'all, this is so awesome. I love having this ability to pull in these tasks. So if we take a closer look here at these tasks, you can now see that this template actually pulled in. And so now it's actually pulled in all these fields within this area based off of the custom fields that I created in this area. And what's great about this is that now I can actually see there's a checklist assigned to it. Bam, so let's look closer. Here we see the checklist that's assigned, and we actually see this area where it can be marked off, okay? And what's even cooler is now there's actually a template. If I take a look at this, you can see, okay, here is all of the milestones that's in a document, and it's all pulled in from that form. So what's great about this form feature is if you want a seamless onboarding process, and let's say that you have 2 or 3 team members that's supporting the operations and delivery of a service or a subscription-based business, this is a great way to start transitioning some of those manual tasks or tasks that you do from memory into a ClickUp template. I want to show you a little bit more about templates, but just know that templates are just a great way to start creating some standardization across all of your delivery for your mentorship, your coaching program, or your tasks. And so this is a really awesome way if you work with clients one-on-one, if you work with an internal team for your company that needs to have some standardization without having to work from scratch every time, templates are the way to go. And I'm like really excited about this. I hope that you are too. So let's go ahead and take a look a little bit more about how I created that template. And then we're going to move on to using the whiteboard feature within ClickUp. And we're going to show you at the end how all of this ties together, your user experience, your project management, and your customer success. All right, so back inside ClickUp, you saw how the tasks are organized, and you saw how the form was actually able to pull in that data, and it pulled in a lot of information, But how is that organized? So let's start first with this area here. So we have our to-do list, and then within our to-do list, we have these tasks. And you can see this area here is actually, this is the full space. And so you see multiple lists. If I wanted to pull in specifically the list for a 30-day milestone, I would then select that right here. So again, that's going to be right here. It's pulling that in. And this is the list. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click over to this task. And from this task, we now see that there is these to-do lists. Okay, so what I did was I actually created a standard template by using the template feature. And again, really awesome that you can create this on your own. If we go to the list and we click on those three dots right here, we're going to go ahead and click on that. Then we're going to go into Template Center. Then we're going to select Save as Template. If you already have an existing template, you can update existing template. So what it will do is it will actually save all of the settings that you have within these tasks and within anything that you create inside of your list. So it's really awesome. You can do some really great kinds of things here. And again, very, very one of my favorite aspects about Clickup. So let's say that I wanted to pull in another list. Okay, so I'm going to create another list, and I am going. Actually, let's go ahead and just move into this testing space area. So if I were to pull in a new list, I'm going to name the list Test List. Okay, and then I'm going to say Create List. Okay, so here in my testing space, I am going to pull in a list, and you can see here that it has this test list, but I can actually import a number of things here. So if it's okay. All right, so I'm going to go to the Template Center, browse templates, and here you can see that I can browse templates by space, folder, or list. Let's say that I wanted to pull in, let's go ahead and pull in actually like a folder template. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use this. So this is actually a specific template that I had created for a client. And you can see that there's a lot of different things that can be customized, and all of these custom fields are what is going to be imported. So you'll see that here we have the view type, we have the custom fields, and we have the statuses. So I'm going to go ahead and select Use Template. It's going to ask me what I would like to rename the folder. And then again, we're asking where is it going to be imported. We can import everything or customize import items. I'm going to customize it because what I don't want is, I do not want due dates. I do not want a couple of these things. I'm going to keep the custom fields, and I'm going to keep everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and select Use Template. Okay, so once I've created that, now what it's doing, it says creating folder, and you're going to go ahead and see that the test folder pulled in this entire folder and everything that was already in progress there. So now you can see that this is the folder. If we go back into the milestone checkpoints, we'll again see that everything was pulled in as well. And if we go into this task, then this will be able to see all of these templates. So again, you can save things as a template from the folder or from the task area as well, which is really easy when you start managing this workflow so you don't have to do everything manually. Okay, so that was tip number one, is to create a onboarding intake flow for your internal clients, customers, or coaching clients in your membership or cohort. Easy peasy once you get the hang of it. It does take some time, but I absolutely recommend creating this setup for your workflows so that you can have ease, manage it more effectively, and create that template to save yourself some time. All right, so now that we've talked a little bit more about forms, we're gonna celebrate, but I wanna talk a little bit more about whiteboards. Now, whiteboards are one of the features about ClickUp that I absolutely love, and it's one of the features that most recently came out of beta. So I do want to mention, if you're watching the recording or replay of this, there are a few things that might be a little bit glitchy. So do keep that in mind when you're going through this. So let's go ahead and pop on over to ClickUp, and we're going to look at the whiteboard feature. Okay, so again, I'm inside of ClickUp. I'm going to show you what it looks like with a done space, meaning something that I've already created in a whiteboard setting, and then we'll go ahead and create our own whiteboards. And I can't wait to see what you all have to create with your own whiteboards in your ClickUp spaces as well. So here within ClickUp, I actually am in the list area. So if we take a look, here's the whiteboard, and we can actually use this setting here. This is a fit setting here, and I know this is actually kind of small here, but you can edit things for sure. And then this is one of the things that they're still figuring out. And I'm honestly trying to figure out this whiteboard feature too, because it is a little bit newer. So in the whiteboard feature, there's a couple things. One, if you take a look at this, you will be able to see that there is a shape. A shape basically allows you to visually map out a process or workflow. And then you can see the arrows, which are relationships. So within these relationships, you're now going to have the ability to show a workflow. So imagine here, this is one finished workflow, a client intake form. You have an automated orientation or thank you video. Again, so if you're a course creator or someone who creates their own onboarding process, or if you have a team of people who help with the onboarding process, let's say that you have a coaching program, and after the actual intake form for applying for a service or your coaching program and they purchase, they're now going to be redirected to this thank you video or an onboarding or orientation video. From there, they're going to start their email onboarding series. And so here is actually just an example of what you could create when it comes to creating your email onboarding process. So you have day 0, you also have 14 to 15 days, and then again that 30-day checkpoint. So now we have a fully robust process showcasing you, number one, the intake form from the time that someone is actually getting the process of submitting all the information. And then number two, what you also have is the post-purchase workflow. So this is basically from the time that somebody takes their intake to the time that they are going through the first few iterations of getting your support. So really, really helpful when you're thinking about how do we create this workflow and you want a visual representation. Now, again, one of the things that I want to mention about this is that if you are somebody who really needs help mapping this out, do just, ask me a question. I want to hear from you. And Alice, thanks so much for watching this. I really appreciate you. I see you there. So thanks so much for watching this. If you're using a similar workflow management system like Miro or some sort of visual guide, that's a great tool. But I just love that everything's in one place and I can save it as a template. So super helpful. Okay, so let's take a look at what it would look like if I created the whiteboard from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this over. I'm going to create a brand new whiteboard. So let's see if this works. Again, it has been off and on for me. So I can see here that if you look, there's all these different templates. I can use a flowchart, concept mapping, stand-up, retrospective reverse, or brain. And again, all of these really cool different features. Let's go ahead and pull in this concept mapping. That's actually one of my favorite. And here you can see one caveat I will mention is I don't like that it pulls it in and it's really big. It's zoomed in. I don't like that at all. So this is the fit to screen that I found actually helps me a lot more. And again, look at this. I love this. This is so great. So now we actually have this flow chart, and this is the concept mapping template. If I wanted to edit things inside the shape, I can do that. I can move things around, as you can see with my cursor. I can change the color. If I go here, I can add some text. I can change it. There's all these different things here. I don't need half of these things, but very, very cool. What's even cooler, if you want to get nerdy with me, is you can bring in some of these ClickUp cards. What? Okay, ClickUp cards, if you don't know about them, this is really cool because you can actually pull in, let's say, all right, so I'm pulling in this milestone, and let's say I want to have this to be in a relationship with this. So let's see if this works. Sometimes I have this work and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, it's not quite there yet. Doesn't seem to be working. Great demo, Melody. No, this is a really great tool. So you can see you can click within the task. But again, relationships are really a great asset to have between these tools. So you can bring in a lot of these things off to the side, and then you can create full workflows. Okay, so just imagine I'm going to delete all of this and show you a very simple onboarding workflow, which is going to be a 3-part onboarding process. So let's go ahead and say this is a podcast intake form. After the podcast intake form, I'm going to press this plus button, and that's going to cause a direct relationship. It will cause the shape below it to be the same color, and then you can change it here. So let's say that this is going to be step 1. Email confirmation. Okay, so for those of you who don't have a podcast, you can use the same thing for client inquiries, internal questionnaires, like a survey, lots of different automations that you can set up on the back end. But this is, again, just we're mapping everything out. We want the process first, and then we'll go in and actually develop the entire system. We're going to go ahead and press the plus icon. Then we're going to go ahead and do blue. And I hope that you all are having a fabulous spring day, getting ready for the holiday, for some special Easter or Ramadan or whatever it is that you're celebrating, or just a spring weekend. That's also fine. And let's go ahead and say step 2. Let's say step 2 is 24-hour reminder. Okay, so this is a 24-hour reminder, and then we're going to add one more email in here, and that's going to be a 15-minute reminder, or well, let's say 1 hour reminder. 1 hour reminder. Okay, step 3. Just holler at me. Those of you all who are watching on Facebook, let me know if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you. Or if you're catching the replay, say hashtag replay. I want to know if this is helping. So step 2, step 3. No, that's right. Okay. So again, 3-part process: podcast intake form. Step 1, client email confirmation. Step 2, 24-hour reminder. Step 3, 1 hour reminder. I can't count today. So we've had this whiteboard, and again, so many different rich features within this tool. You can even pull in, again, the templates area within this little magic arm. If you want to go ahead and link something, you can absolutely do that. Like, let's say you wanted to create a website card for you building out a funnel, or you building out a new customer journey, or you building out some sort of onboarding series, and you have a video and it's hosted on Vimeo or YouTube or something like that. So you can definitely pull that in. And then from there, you can actually also upload some images. So I'm just going to pull in an image. Let's see here. So I've got this, and this is reminding everybody that I have events, and they happen every other week. But take a look. Wednesday, April 20th. I'm going to be having another session here on Clubhouse. If you're on Clubhouse, it's a great way for you to ask questions. We can actually talk because I can't hear you. And I would love to hear your beautiful, amazing, wonderful, magical unicorn voices. And this is, again, happening April 20th. I can't wait to see you all. And then if you're not there, then you can come and join me on Friday. Okay, so we have talked a lot about different of the features. One, we talked about the forms. Now we talked about the actual ability to use the area, which is the whiteboard setting. And now I just want to tie it all together. How do you do this together with your whiteboards, your templates, and also your forms? So this is how I really recommend doing it. Number one, map out your entire customer journey post-purchase. Please, for the love of Mike, I don't have a real person in my life named Mike besides one person. So for the love of Mike, please map out your process. Step one, map out what happens after somebody purchases from you. If you already have that onboarding process fleshed out, it's time to revisit it because we're now in quarter two. If you want to look back at your documents and creating a brand new customer journey, I recommend doing that inside of ClickUp's whiteboard space. Step two is to create the actual tasks. What is happening, by when is it happening, and by who? What is happening, by when is it happening, and by who? So again, those 3 W's when it comes to managing your client workflows, your processes, and creating a plan for you as an internal team or for your clients to succeed. To do that, we want to create templates. And this is where the third tip is for ClickUp. Create a template within ClickUp to make it easier and seamless for you. I've already shared with you an example, but I'm going to finalize it up by showing you one final example so you can go ahead and do it all on your own. All right? So let's go back over to ClickUp. You see my wonderful little face there. So I showed you how to import a template, but to create that template, like I said previously, is you can actually go into your list, and you can see here when I clicked on that 3 icons, when I clicked on these 3 icons, it says list settings. If I click here and go to the template settings, I can say browse templates, save as a template, or update existing. So if I wanted to go ahead and browse the template, I'm not even going to create one. I can go in, check the community templates, and this is really a great way to pull in some previous work. Here's a podcast one. We have a blog database, class notes, or a Gantt chart. So really cool templates here. And again, a lot of these are coming from the community that you can use all on your own. So if I wanted to go ahead and pull in a template, let's go ahead and pull in this Gantt. I can't even. All right, so I'm going to pull it into the testing space and the, yeah, let's do the testing space. All right. Actually, if I wanted to, I could create a, can I create it? I'm going to create a new, no, I think I'm fine with this. All right, simple Gantt. Let's go ahead and import it as is. I am going to not include archive task, click use template, creating the list. Beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite. Okay, so here's a simple Gantt, and it's pulled in right here. README, take a look at that. Fabulous. Look at that. They pulled in a document straight into this view area. I just want you to know how cool this is, right? So now if you're familiar with Notion or you're familiar with other tools that allow you to create documents, seriously, next week I'm going to be talking about documents, and it will blow your mind of amazingness. There will be unicorns dancing at the top of your brain, I'm telling you. Okay, so we're going to see here that we have this pinned view. Take a look at this pinned view. This is where you're going to see some of the things that come up at top, because if you are using ClickUp quite frequently, you'll notice that this is something that happens. You're going to get lost. The views will get lost because you have to scroll. So something to consider. So again, here we have the project plan, we have README, and we have this Gantt. So if I look in the Gantt area of the document, it's just going to explain what's going on with this, the dependencies, and then how you can create them in ClickUp. So really cool. Just loving this so much. And what you're going to see here is in this project Gantt, this is the Gantt view. I Gantt even. G-A-N-T. T, I think, yeah. All right, so take a peek at this Gantt view. Look at this. If I take this caret down, you see a task. You can go ahead and scroll and ba-bam, ba-bam. Very cool. Task 1, task 2. Personally, I don't really care for the Gantt view as much, gasp, than I actually care about the calendar view. So if I said I don't like this view, I can change the view, and I can do it right here. Go to view, go ahead and click calendar, and then I can pin the view. That's that little pin icon right there on the top section of the banner. Click add view, ba-bam, ba-bam. If I wanted to pin it, and let's go ahead and move it up here, ba-bam, ba-bam. Take a look. Beautiful, beautiful. I can add task directly, task, awesome. And then click save. Okay, so bam, the task awesome was created. I can definitely go ahead and change all of these things here. Okay, so changing all of this is a process. Finding a system or a workflow that works for you takes time. Okay, so I absolutely hope that you learned something from today's little training session where you can learn how to create better customer experiences, improve your retention rates for your internal teams, your external customer and client management, or your course membership or group coaching program. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. Go ahead and comment below if you have any questions. I do want to invite you to some cool events that are happening next week. First of all, next week I have a lot of cool things happening. That is going to be that special little training I told you about. That's happening next week, Wednesday. That's happening inside of Clubhouse. But don't worry, if you're more of a video person, you want to see all the knickknacks, cool tutorials, that's happening on Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I am going to show you a quick you all can learn with me. Sorry, I just realized I'm on mute. So yes, do go follow me every Friday at 3 p.m. here for coffee and courses. And then I also have some really cool trainings on TikTok as well. I do want to also invite you to come join me if you have questions. So if you have a specific question related to customer success or ClickUp or curriculum for your course or program, go ahead and reach out to me. Honestly, I really want to know what I could create better for you all. Yes, and oh, I see some really great things here. It says Facebook user, and it says reminds me of the chatbot flows I've created in ManyChat. Yeah, I ManyChat's great. It does have some really cool features like that. Let's see here. I love the templates. Yes, the templates are really cool. I really like them. And someone said that they're also obsessed with the documents. Absolutely. I am obsessed with the documents as well. So I can't wait because next week I'm going to talk about documents. So make sure that you follow around with me. I am obsessed with ClickUp. And I know that there's so many amazing, smart people in this area. So if you want to talk about ClickUp and you want to talk about customer experience and workflows and all that jazz, come hang out with me. Next Friday, we're going to be talking about documentation, and we're going to have so much fun. So next Friday, you, me, we're going to make it a date, and we're going to have some coffee. It's going to be great, and we'll see you next week. So that's it for today's training. Let me know if this was helpful at all, and I will see you all later.